We're live, Councilman.
All right. Well, welcome to the January 26th Town Council meeting. Margot, take it away.
I, Margot GK, the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:31 p.m. on Tuesday, January 6, 2021, and that this regular meeting is being held remotely via webinar. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting were provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted in Town Hall and on the town website, and filed with the office of the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. Take a roll call. Councilwoman Cotton.
Present.
Has Councilman Elms joined us? Not yet. Councilwoman Foster.
Here.
Councilman Iannicone.
Here.
Councilwoman Mayer.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
And Council President Armington.
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Wonderful. Okay, let's move into a moment of silence. Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As always, before we get started, please be aware that the public comment during public hearing portions of this meeting will be moderated through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising his or her hand in the app. You will find the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your telephone. When it is your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app and ask that you unmute yourself so that you may be heard. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have 4 items. Unless a member of council would like to pull one or more for separate consideration, I would ask for a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Any comments on this consent agenda? All right, we'll make a motion to adopt the full consent agenda.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayer.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
And Council President Armington.
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I will open up the floor for a number of public hearings. First off, we have the Sioux Fall Health Center fiscal year 2021 CDBG application, second floor renovation. Before I enter the public hearing, is Ms. Turbiner with us to say a few words?
Hi, Eva, I'm going to promote you as a panelist. You can make your, you'll be on camera. And you can unmute yourself, please.
Okay, hi. Thanks for just giving me a minute. I won't take too much time. We are asking that our CDBG proposal for the building that we're in on Atno Avenue, we are asking the County Community Development Program to give us $80,000 to do some work to create a second floor telemedicine suite. As you all, I'm sure know, if any of you have had medical services in this last year, much of what's being done in order to keep people safe and out of congested buildings is telemedicine. We find it to be a great service for our patients. And so we'd like to create a little suite upstairs in the Morristown building. I also just want to say briefly, we have been here all year for the people of Morristown. We have about 9,000 unique patients that we're seeing at our office at Atno and Washington Streets. We have had about 27,000 visits to that location in the last year. And this year we've been doing a lot of COVID work over there. We've been doing a lot of medical, both telemedicine and in-person visits for people who've had symptoms. We've been doing testing. We are also doing testing at St. Margaret's 2 days a week. And we are now vaccinating people for COVID as well. I believe that we were able to vaccinate most, if not all, of the Morristown police and firefighters tomorrow. And I understand the mayor is going to be joining me over at the Morristown Senior Housing Complex on Early Street. We will be vaccinating the Morristown seniors in those public housing buildings. So we think we're a great asset to the town. We love being in the town. We appreciate all the support we have gotten from you. And we are planning on being there for a very long time and are fixing up the building to make that possible.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Turbiner. With that, I will open the floor for a public hearing. If any member of the public has any comments they wish to make.
Okay, the first public speaker is Mr. Patrick Housel.
And this is on the Sioux Fall grant application
Oh,
only?
I apologize.
Oh.
Hang on, Patrick, I'll get back to you. I don't see any other hands raised.
Okay, with that, we'll close the public hearing. The second is the Visions and Pathways Fiscal Year 2021 ESG Application Street Smart Outreach Program. Is there a representative from Visions and Pathways who is with us tonight and would like to say a few words?
I don't see anyone with their hands raised.
Thank you. I will open up the public hearing for any person in the public who wish to make a comment on the Visions and Pathways grant application.
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, I will close the public hearing. At this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on any other matter. Again, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate that you would like to speak. If you've joined the meeting via telephone, please press *9. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order. Also be advised that no comments were received via email for this meeting.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. Patrick, if you'll unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, I apologize for earlier.
No problem. Good evening, Patrick Housel, 172 Franklin Street. My only question is, I think there was supposed to be a municipal hearing on 1 Shady Lane, and so I was just hoping that the town council or administration could provide an update. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Housel. I don't see any other hands raised for public comment.
We'll close the public hearing and take it away with council responses to the public hearing comments. Jillian, why don't you start if you have a response to Mr. Housel?
I'm actually going to defer to Vij.
Okay, fantastic. Vij.
Yes. So there was a hearing this evening in municipal court. The oral arguments, briefs that were submitted, the municipal court judge did make a ruling that 1 Shady Lane was in violation of the zoning ordinance. The judge issued fines of $100 per day ever since the violation was issued up to today. And also moving forward, it will be $100 a day until they abate the problem. I need more details. This just happened this evening, so I need to contact the court and get more details tomorrow on what exactly the judge said as far as seizing the operation. But they are in violation, and that's what the court found. And we don't know what the applicant or the homeowner is going to do. So I can give you all an update at a later date.
Thank you, Vij.
Vij, thanks a lot, Vij. It's a cautious win, I would say.
Yes.
All right, any other council responses?
In regard to Sulfal, I think that they do a great job for healthcare in our town. And I mean, kudos to them because they really help the community in a great way. Yesterday at the MHA meeting was announced the vaccination for seniors, which is very important. And Eva Turbine is leading that effort along with the administration.
Thank you, David.
I have a quick question also about Zufall. They said they're vaccinating our seniors on early. Are they going over to the Ann Street building to vaccinate those seniors?
I'll address it on my comments.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no more council responses, we'll return it over to the mayor.
Keep it brief. Vij, Mr. Farr, also thank you for the good news on Shady Lane. Councilman Iannacone, Jillian, thank you for all the hard work and how much you've kept up with it. And I agree, it's a cautious win, but you know, the process does take time, and we are going through the process the right way. And I just want to recognize our town councilor Vij Farr for making sure that stayed on track, and Mr. Iannacone for making sure that we stayed on track. Other than that, and the public, Patrick, thank you for your constant making sure that you are informed, and hopefully we'll get this finalized sooner than later. Really quickly, I didn't know Zufall was going to announce that today. We have been working diligently for weeks, I'd say, Jillian, weeks, on trying to get our HUD senior buildings vaccinated. I have to give the credit to Chief Robert Flanagan from the fire department, our team, CERT volunteers today that spent the whole day registering people. This went out weeks ago. We've been working on this for a number of weeks with Zufall. Zufall has come through. We have over 100 signed up for vaccination starting tomorrow, and it is no easy feat to get vaccines. So although we're in constant contact, the fire department, chief of the fire department, Robert Flanagan, has gone way and above his duty as the fire chief, but he has been my front guy for working with Zufall, getting this prepared for our senior housing. Ann Street will be bused to Burley Street, where they'll be vaccinated, and anybody signed up will get their vaccinations and their second vaccinations when they're due. This was a full effort by the CERT team and by Chief Flanagan and our office, and we want to thank Zufall. We're obviously going to do it tomorrow, and we look forward to getting as many people as we can get vaccinated, our seniors, and as many people that can get vaccinated. As these vaccinations become more available, I suggest that I know there's some people who have cautions about getting vaccinated, but I think there's a few people on this Zoom town council meeting that would recommend Councilman Iannacone and others to get vaccinated. I think Vij, do you want to take 1 second and talk about how you have to update the site to get your slots for getting your vaccinations? Vij?
Yeah. You talk about the
county website, yeah.
Yeah. So you can go on the county website, but also Atlantic Health. They have the mega site at Rockaway Center. If you have MyChart, you can get on MyChart. It's an app, and you're able to look at what appointments are available. The county website can, Jillian, I'm not that familiar with the county website, but the Atlantic Health website is, and MyChart is locations for.
But when you register, Vij, and you look for your time slots, you have to keep updating the website.
Right.
So could you just talk to the public about that?
Yeah. So it seems that you have to stay on the website and keep refreshing it because there are slots that keep opening up. And so you have to be diligent about it. I'm aware of several individuals that seniors that stayed on top of it and were able to get slots which were not available previously, and were able to go and get vaccinated. So stay on that website, and even if there are no time slots available, just stay on it throughout the day, keep refreshing it, because there are people that do not show up for appointments, and so slots do open up, or there are people that schedule appointments at various different sites. They're able to get an appointment earlier, and they call and cancel. So just stay on top of the websites and the time slots throughout the day, keep refreshing it, and there are slots that do open up.
And
Thank
if I
you.
can say, Mayor, the website, the web address is atlantichealth.org/COVID vaccine. That's the website for the Mega Vaccine Center at Rockaway Town Square.
Right, and it is posted. So just if anybody has any issues, if you know any constituents that have an issue that don't have a computer or they're seniors, just call our office at 973-292-6629, and you will be guided to the right numbers and get you to where you have to go as far as getting registered and getting ready to take a vaccine. Again, thank you, Zufall. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll start getting our seniors vaccinated. We're very excited about it. It was a very daunting few weeks, really trying to get this done, and we got it done. So I'm very proud of the hard work that the fire chief and his people have done, and our administration on getting this ready for our seniors. Really quick, let me just talk about this film shoot that's going on. In case you didn't notice, there's a movie or a shoot being done on South Street in the Miller Road area in Maple Avenue neighborhood. You're going to see some production vehicles, some trailers, some different things that are placed around about it. It's called Ways and Means. It's a new CBS pilot starring Patrick Dempsey, or some people call him Patrick McDreamy. There were several people out in the public today. Some people sent me some shots. I heard he was very, very nice and friendly, said hello to people out in that snow and the wet weather. So it's pretty cool to have them filming in our downtown, and we wish that success for his CBS pilot. We can't wait to see it, because you get to see, hey, you know, that's in our town and church. I think it was a funeral shoot today, so it was kind of that kind of day, you know, dismal day and overcast and wet and snowy and rainy. February 5th, mark your calendars for virtual NAACP 89th Annual Freedom Fund event. For tickets, obviously go to our website, it's kind of long, but it's MCNAACP Freedom at eventbrite.com. But we'll post it. We'll send it all out to you February 5th to purchase your tickets. I believe I'm starting it off with the national anthem. And so get your tickets. Support the NAACP. We know it's tough with the virtual. They usually have a very large attending banquet. This year it's going to be tough, but you know, every dollar raises goes to a good cause. So let's see if we can get some tickets sold. Special announcements. Town received $20,572 in a grant from Geraldine Dodge Foundation to support any operations during COVID-19. That was didn't know that was coming, right, Jillian? Just got a check for $20,000.
Yes.
Okay, and the COVID testing and vaccines, go on the website and you can connect those links for testing and vaccines. Zufall talked about their testing, and also at CCM, they test Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but you have to register. Again, to call the town hall if you're not able to register on a computer. State of New Jersey has a vaccine hotline, and it is 855-568-0545, and the county has a hotline at 973-829-8250. Those are also on our website, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you have any issues, let us know. I know they had a few bumps in the road yesterday with the state number. I think that's all straightened out. Those are live people, 8 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. that will take your call and guide you where you need to go. for COVID testing and to get registered for your vaccine. There's a lot going on, as we see in the news. Those who follow the news nationally with the COVID, different strains, different things going on. Our death nationally is still rising, although New Jersey, I believe, Mr. Parr, is declining.
Correct. The number of positives, the number of deaths, and the positivity rate, or the rate of transmission has been declining.
So that's good news, but we have to still be very, very, very diligent about our mask wearing and our cleaning, washing our hands, using sanitizer when we're not able to wash them, and social distancing is still very important. Even if you get vaccinated, you still have to practice all those principles that the CDC recommends. There was a frontline story today on pregnancy, not taking the Moderna vaccine if you're pregnant. So I put that out there today. So there's a lot of stuff you have, a lot of information out there, and there's lots of ways to get it. So if you have any questions, and this is really to the public, please don't hesitate to call the office again at 973-292-6629. Call your council person if you for information, etc., and they'll get it to us, and we'll get it out where it has to go and get it back to you. Other than that, Council President, just everybody be safe when they're out driving around. It might be a little slippery tonight.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, Mr. President, if I might just announce that Councilman Elms joined us at 7:42 this evening.
Thank you. All right. Council liaison reports.
The Parking Authority actually met on the 7th. I give a lot of credit to Jen and her team. They've been very, very busy connecting the businesses in town with various resources. Right now, up on their website is the application and an explanation of the process for the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program run by the federal government. They're getting that message out there, but that program does have new funding, and new applications are being accepted again for the Paycheck Protection Program. Other than that, the big concern, the big discussion, of course, was Verizon and the poles and the antennas on the poles. There's a lot of concern there, and similar to what we've heard here at our council. Stefan?
Yeah, thank you.
For the Morristown Parking Authority, Bob, do you want to switch? Council,
No.
want to switch?
Parking
Authority.
Long time I was on that.
Nothing much to report. They met last week, and they're discussing or looking at system changes based on the current pandemic. But other than that, there's nothing really to report to council and or the public.
The Shade Tree Commission met last week. We're still going over our park reports. Some of our commissioners virtually met with ward council people. I know a few of our council commissioners met with Councilwoman Cotton, and she's very excited about helping us out and setting us up with people who are going to volunteer to help with some of the remediation of invasives in our parks. I know a couple of people reached out to Councilman Iannacone and to myself and Council President Armington. If any of the at-large council people want to be involved, we'd be more than happy to have your help. It's really just getting your constituents involved. Anybody you want that you know would like to help, just help with our parks, and they're beautiful. All we're trying to do is make them more beautiful. So feel free to reach out to me, and I could be, I'm the liaison, and I could set that up.
MHA met last night, and the two highlights are currently they're working on correcting some errors and issues from previous administration as they are going through an audit. And the best news was given by Mr. Vine and by the mayor, which is vaccination for our seniors. So I think those are great news.
Thank you, David. All right, with that, we will move forward onto regular business. There are no ordinances for introduction. I believe there's one ordinance for adoption.
Yes, we have ordinance number O-1-2021, an ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 40.2, handicap parking on streets for private residences, to add a dedicated handicap parking space for a resident of 14A Mount Airy Road.
I will make a motion. I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 01-2021.
I'll second.
Okay, at this time, I'll open up the floor for a public hearing on ordinance number O-1-2021. Please be reminded, you must raise your hand in the Zoom app or press star 9 on your phone to indicate that you would like to speak.
Council President, I don't see any hands raised for the public hearing.
Thank you. We'll close the public hearing.
Any comments or questions from council?
No.
Okay, on the adoption of ordinance O-1-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Anacone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance 1-2021 is adopted. We have 9 resolutions on the agenda for adoption this evening. Unless a member of council would like to pull one or more for separate consideration, I would ask for motion to adopt resolutions 29-2021 through 37-2021 en masse.
I'd like to pull 35 and 36, please.
Any others?
All right. I will make a motion then to adopt resolutions R29 through R34 and R37.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-35-2021 is a resolution authorizing the LEAP Challenge grant application. I have a motion to adopt, please.
I'll make a motion to adopt R35-2021.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Mayor?
Yes, I might be jumping the gun asking this question since this is just the LEAP challenge, but can you go into a little bit more detail, Julian, on how this would work? If we got a piece of equipment and it's divided between 6 towns, is there a process where one town would get use of it and that type of thing? And I was just curious to know about the equipment, and also it said something about parks maintenance, which is really an exciting process. So if you have any information or if I'm jumping the gun, just let me know.
Yeah, you're way ahead of us. This grant is in order to give us technical assistance to explore what a shared service would look like amongst all of our towns, to look at DPW equipment and equipment maintenance function. So, we're asking for $150,000 to hire a consultant to do that analysis for us and to kind of, give us a framework to do shared services to see if it's feasible. And then if it is feasible, how it would work. And so that's one of the questions that I think would be addressed as part of that process if we were to be awarded the grant along with the township and the other towns that are participating.
Okay, do all 5 of the other towns have to have a resolution that passed to be part of this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Councilman Meyer, we've had conference calls with the mayors moving this forward, and a few conferences, and this, I think Jillian hit it right on the head. This is just to get the money to do the study.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on the adoption of resolution R-35-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacono,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-36-2021, resolution condemning the January 6, 2021 siege in Washington, D.C. We have a motion to adopt.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Yes. First, I'd like to thank Council President Armington for including this resolution on the agenda tonight. Not all towns in Morris County are condemning or even acknowledging the event of January 6th. And it was brought to my attention that the basis of this resolution could have been broader. And while I agree that it could have been, the purpose was to condemn the rioters, the looters, the insurrectionists, the seditionists, basically the human cockroaches that stormed our Capitol building on January 6th. I wanted to address those that carry the Confederate flag and Klan flags, flags that have no business inside our hallowed halls of democracy, flags that do not represent our citizens, a flag that is offensive and a disgrace. I also want to address those small-minded or no-minded that wore Nazi emblazoned attire on this day before International Holocaust Remembrance Day, to wear a shirt saying that 6 million wasn't enough or that Auschwitz was some kind of camp is, in one word, disgusting. It was so offensive to see this in our Capitol. I hope no one ever has to look into their father's haunted eyes because he doesn't know where his parents, aunts, uncles, cousins were murdered, but knowing their final days and years were spent experiencing complete inhumanity, never having a gravesite to visit because they were gassed to death, and then their bodies were dumped into a mass fire pit. This resolution was written to address and condemn those cockroaches, and we can, as a nation and community, address the outcome by supporting our democracy and not ever forgetting how close we came to losing it. Thank you.
Andy,
Thank you.
any other comments? Call the
I don't
question.
think anybody could speak after that. Thank you, Councilman.
Well, I just want to say that what we saw on January 6th reflects the condition of the political realm in our country. We should take George Washington's advice that said that partisanship will ruin public liberty. And that night, which is our prayer night in our church, we pray heavily for our nation, rejecting that and praying for reconciliation, peace, and unity. I think that rejecting any kind of violence, but especially that kind of violence, political violence, is very important. But also I think that we need to hold our Congress people in Washington accountable for working. They need to work harder on the unity and to become more lenient on working with the other side and reconciling ideas and leading our nation, and especially helping the people, because in such a time as this, COVID-19, there are many needs that are not being properly attended to American people due to the fact that the vicious political spirit that moves in Washington is not allowing them to really work hard on that. But definitely we have to reject that kind of violence. And I think this, as Councilwoman Mayer said, it's just a base. The resolution is a base. It should be broader, but I think it's good enough for us here in Morristown. And I think that we could be a model and an example for other towns and hopefully for the nation.
Thank you, David. With that, let's call the question.
On the adoption of Resolution R-36-2021, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Elms.
Yes.
Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayer.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes the regular business. There's one item of unfinished old business, trash. As I have been essentially furloughed for half my time since November, I've taken on a new project to map the concentrations of trash throughout town, primarily in the residential areas and the non business areas. And so over the last few weeks, I've spent 14 hours of picking up trash and documenting the locations of trash, filling 14 contractor bags full of trash over 14 hours, in the third ward. I'm moving into the second ward. But really, what I'd like to be able to do is work with the Clean Communities group that really has spent decades working on this type of effort, and see if I can coordinate my efforts with them, and ask if any other council members are interested in joining me. Is Kathleen Margiotta still the contact person for the Clean Communities group?
No, she retired.
Do we have a coordinator?
Jillian?
We're working on appointing her replacement. Should be forthcoming shortly.
Reach out to me when that's done, and I'll.
Yeah. So, Stefan, if I may,
Yes.
so I talked to Joe Curlo, super for the DPW, on the trash. Can I go?
What?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. On the amount of trash that they're picking up daily in some of the areas in the town cans, we do have DPW guys that go around off hours a couple times and make sure they're all emptied. One of the and I have driven around and I've noticed more. I even noticed more on my street. One of the problems is there's a lot of to-go food now. There's a lot of we're generating. I actually had this conversation. I can't believe how much garbage we generate to begin with. It's an enormous amount of trash that just two people can generate in a week.
Right.
But I have noticed that, especially along some of our corridors, that the cans are filled up very quickly. I think not some businesses are using them. So when people do have trash, I've seen them next to the cans. And then, of course, it doesn't take much for an animal to get into a garbage bag, and then you've got garbage blowing everywhere throughout the neighborhoods. So there's a couple of things that I'm discussing with Jillian, and probably have to discuss with the council, because a lot of our businesses downtown don't have the ability to store cans. There's no place for them to store them. So they're putting out garbage. And I took a picture the other day at like it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. There was garbage out next to garbage cans from these businesses in just bags. So we're going to have to address, and that's been going on. It didn't just start going on. That's been going on forever. So we're going to have to start addressing how we deal with garbage, not just because of COVID, but just in general. Uh-oh, I think I lost everybody.
No, we're here.
No,
My screen went black. So it's a broader thing. I totally agree with you. I've driven around and I've noticed areas that clearly the garbage cans, and I don't know if the answer is more garbage cans, or we start working with Councilman Iannico said, maybe with the partnership on how we better deal with our trash in the downtown and our business district, because a lot of businesses put out their garbage without any cans. They're just on the street, on the sidewalk next to cans. And 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday is way too early for garbage to go out. I did walk the town Sunday. I actually walked it with the former councilwoman, and took a picture and noticed that was happening. It's too early. So that's not just happening there. It's happening on Speedwell. It's happening on Washington. It's happening on South. We are generating a lot more to-go containers, a lot more to-go food under COVID. So I think it's a much broader picture here. And then if you and somebody on the council want to work with us, we can maybe start some type of garbage task force with the superintendent of DPW and really have a goal, long-term plan on how we're going to deal with the garbage.
That sounds great. I very much appreciate it. I also understand that the Environmental Commission is starting to look into that and some potential opportunities to address.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, we got those 3 solar garbage cans. They actually do work. They do, but they're very expensive.
Yeah, they're like 10 grand each.
Yes, but maybe that's the road, the road we have to go down and start investing. Maybe there's new technology out with the garbage. Maybe you guys we'll all take a look at that. That seemed to help that corner because it was really bad. That corner, those 3 cans that seemed to help, those solar, they compact the garbage. So maybe we have to start looking at how we're going to be creative and more technology centered with our downtown garbage. Maybe it's time to start replacing with state of the art, like DC. DC does a lot of it.
Yeah.
So okay, that's it.
I look forward to working with the Clean Communities Group and the administration and any of the council members who would like to participate in that.
Well, I'm interested, Stefan, so I just want to let you know that.
All right.
One of the things that I suggested to Council President is an educational campaign. I think we need to do a wide educational campaign that pays off.
Yes, I totally agree. All right, moving on to new business. We have a number of appointments on the Rent Leveling Board. And I've asked Bob to take the lead on this, given his expertise in this.
Would anybody have any objection if we did all 4 of the appointments with one motion? No. Okay. Margot, do you want to call the question or whatever you need to do?
Of course. I will open up the floor for the following nominations to the Rent Leveling Board. Regular member, unexpired term, 12/31/22, and that's a Class A member. A Class C member for a regular unexpired term ending 12/31/22. A Class B landlord member for a 4-year term ending 12/31/24, and an alternate 2-year term ending 12/31/22.
And I'd like to nominate the Class A member is actually the tenant member. I'd like to recommend nominate Muna Hayes for the Class C member, which is a homeowner member. I'd like to nominate Deborah Reagan for the Class B member, which is a landlord, landlord Mark DeMathis. And finally, for the alternate member, Bill Byrne.
I'll second it. Give me a second.
Moment. All righty. Any other nominations? Okay, at this time, I will close the nominations for those rent leveling appointments. The appointments of Ms. Hayes, Ms. Reagan, I'm so sorry, Councilman, I missed his last name.
It's DeMathis.
Thank you. And Mr. Byrne. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Elms.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannicone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayor.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Arlene.
Yes.
Congratulations. Those 4 appointments are hereby confirmed.
That concludes the normal business and the unfinished business and new business. Does anyone have anything else they would like to add? All right, motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you all. Stay
Good night,
safe.
all.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.